It's Power 106, Brownback Mornings, baby. Always feels good when we can really bring in someone that we've been championing for a long time, that we've seen grow right in front of our eyes into a superstar, freaking nebula, all that good stuff. You know we're talking about Hitboy. Hitboy, what's up, bro?
Yeah. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Hey, you're the first artist that Vic booked here on Power 106.
That's hard. Congrats.
Come on.
Thank you. That's hard.
That feels good, too, because I've been in radio forever, right? This is like the first, I like seeing them have like their first times a lot in here.
How did that feel when y'all got the call? Like,
I mean, it was like, they were like, are you sure he's coming? I'm like, I think so.
Yeah. No, he means like on radio.
To be on the radio? Oh, man. It was like, it was overwhelming kind of at first, you know, everybody being like, yo, you guys do this, do that, you know, but it feels good.
I told them they see it from other people, especially like DoKnow. He's like a viral star, right? TikTok, all that. Like he got famous off his living room. So it's different to like have to clock into work and stuff. But you see it when it's like something like radio is tangible. Like when mom is like, I can listen to you versus I can put a YouTube video on. You know, there's still things that are different that like you see, and like I'm sure the homies are proud. You know, we had AD come up here for DoKnow's birthday and AD's like, man, this is cool. Like I think he sees it in the way other people see it.
That's hard.
Because the waking up early ain't for my guy.
I see they doing their thing too. Yeah. That's hard.
All right, look. I have a question for you.
What up?
You can answer or not answer, okay? Does the IE claim Blast, or is he LA?
I've heard that he came up in the IE in LA, so you know what I mean. It's kind of similar. It's like similar with me though, because you know what I mean. I spent really 13 years of my life in Pasadena. Then I moved to the IE, and then when I was 19, I moved to Atlanta. So I really lived in Pasadena longer than the IE, but I made a lot of my hits in Fontana. So that's why I call myself Tony Fontana, like Tony in my city, Tony Montana. You know what I mean?
That's fire.
I love it. But you also rep that flag even when no one was repping it. You know, a lot of people have now moved out to the IE. We're seeing it really flourish, right? Like the IE is, but you had it when it was just you and you. And that's it, Hitboy. Like, do you like that? It's like, I've been here. Like,
no, for sure. I mean, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's what it was for, though, so I can set that, you know what I mean, path to, like, where people could be proud to represent that section versus being like, people ask them in the interview, where you from? They be like, L.A., when it's like, they really from Rialto, Riverside, whatever the case may be. So it's like, I just start putting on for it.
Yeah, man. And now when you talk to somebody from the IE, you're like their golden prize. That's like they get a claim, and I'm like, damn, you got
we got Hitboy. And then you're like,
that's setting the bar. I feel bad for any creative, let alone producer in the IE, because it's like Hitboy is the bar.
Because especially with like you being, I mean, other than the fact that we're from LA and we're gonna brag about it, and you're from the IE, and you know we're just gonna go back and forth, you know what I mean? But
I'll be seeing the mean pages making jokes about the IE. I'll be watching all that, bro.
Yeah, man. But I think the fact that you're from the West Coast is like, we all get to claim it, you know what I mean? Like we get to brag the fact that you're doing songs with Nas and all these huge artists, and it's like, damn, like, who else is doing that? You know what I mean? Like, Fool don't even rap for nobody. You know what I mean? And he shows up with two and just kicks it all day and drops the album. Like,
nah, for real. That's how I be feeling. Like, that's a super blessing, bro. Like, I know. So, like, y'all just dropped a song this morning with Nas with both of us rapping, going back and forth. I'm like, I can't remember a time where he was going back and forth with an artist.
I was literally just listening to it, and I was like, man, like, this is dope and bold of you to be like, yo, we're gonna go back to back.
There.
And it's like, you held your own.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Niggas could have definitely been like, oh, nah, he got gas, you know what I mean? But we honestly got a crazy synergy, you know what I mean? This ain't our first time rapping together. I rapped on King's Disease too. So we was already locked in, and he already got a respect for what I do. So that just gave me the confidence.
But this one was like you taking the lead though, so it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it was fire.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool seeing you guys go back and forth. But also, do people like, do producers ever not like shame you, but like you're like a producer that's too much on camera? Like, is it like, bro, we're supposed to be like low key? You know,
the game evolves, the world evolves. You know what I mean? And I feel like this. I mean, y'all could go play 20 songs on the radio and mute the beats and then let me know how y'all feel about it. You know what I mean? So it's just like we have for the song, literally have for the song. So why shouldn't we be putting our name out there.
Yeah. Or have that credibility. Like, but that does make sense because even the like inception of hip hop and beat making and producing, they didn't even have drops like that. You didn't know who made it. Like, unless you were actually looking and searching for someone to make a song for you, you don't know who the producer is. The person who shined was the performer on it, right? But now it's like, no, let's give me that credit too, because that sound you like. Right here, I
started making as many people as I could just feature my name on, even if my voice ain't on it. Just because it's like, that's why I feel like the game is going.
Well, with Racks in the Middle, I was waiting for your verse, and it never came.
I swear to God, I'm like, why do you look the coolest on the Ferrari? I was like, he ain't gonna rap. I ain't gonna lie. When I first seen that, I was like, who's that? Word. And then I was like, oh, he made the beat.
Yeah.
And then I obviously, like, the homie started putting me on, like, oh, he made it. I was like, oh, I don't know. But I was like, yeah, seeing you do that also. But it's funny because I was recently watching the Biggie movie, and when Suge Knight talks about Diddy, and he's like, one producer's all up in the video. And I'm like, that's Hitboy.
Right.
Like, but definitely times have changed for that.
Yeah, most definitely.
For sure. You gotta evolve, man. You know what I mean? And that's part of life.
Yeah. You know what hit? You guys mentioning Racks in the Middle really it took me back to 2018. Next week, we're about to commemorate the 5-year anniversary of Nipsey passing away, which is wild.
Wow.
He was so excited, especially with Racks in the Middle. I remember the press run that he did 2 weeks before his passing was strictly for the single. It wasn't for any upcoming project. It wasn't for the last project. It was because he was so excited about this song. And it was because it's incredible. It's an incredible record. You guys collaborating. I know you've talked about the stories of coming together, and like, even when it comes to you and Nip, there's something you brought to him that other people couldn't get. There's something like YG brings out a Nip, like the ratchet Nip and YG like no other, right? Dom and YG is like no other. Tell me about Hitboy and Nip.
I mean, we just always had a respect for each other, just like on some real life shit and on some music type vibes. So it's just like, just that, man. Like, we hadn't worked. I didn't even work on nothing for Victory Lap. You know what I mean? Like, that was like a few year like process. And right after, you know what I mean? Like, not right after, but just like around the time when we was doing Racks in the Middle, he just was like pulling up on me, like pulling up to the stool. You know what I mean? And excited about what I was doing, and we made that record. And that shit was just an ill process watching. It's like a movie when I think about it, you know what I mean? From watching him record every piece of the verses, coming back, fixing shit up, like, and it's us mixing the song and putting it out and getting the reception we thought we was gonna get. That was ill. And I remember him telling me he had to go up to the label and fight for Racks in the Middle to come out, you know what I mean?
Because
his label had other songs that was coming out, and it was like, oh, we don't want it to conflict. And he was like, man, I ain't worried about none of that. This shit out of here, you know what I mean? So he had to really push for that.
That fucking confidence. No, that's real shit.
Yeah, like, he believed in the song.
No, it was great. You guys dropped it Grammy night or exactly. It was on Grammy night. The label was like, oh no, because we're dropping Cardi B with Bruno Mars. And that's a big record. It's Cardi B and Bruno Mars. Cardi's fire right now. And then Nip's like, I don't care. This record is hot, right?
Exactly.
But
I ain't want to say exactly who it was.
No. But that's some real shit, and no one's ever like really mentioned that. I know from like knowing the behind the scenes stuff. But to me, even when that was happening, I'm like, it's seeing the vision before anybody else to see the vision. It's not allowing you to shelve me, right? And he was like, look, whatever it is, yes, we're off Victory Lap, but this record needs to blow. And he knew to even push it and get that push behind it. Of course, your production, it's not that record without your production. And even without the configuring Roddy on that song, you know, like that was his breakout.
Yeah, because the most catchiest thing in the world.
Right. No, I've had a lot of people be like, yo, that's the first time I heard Roddy was on Racks in the Middle.
It's kind of like when, you know what it looked like when three brothers get along. Like, you know what I mean? You know, there's like the middle one. You're kind of like I do my own thing, and they're like, and I'm not saying that he was big broing him, but he was older, and Roddy has talked about like how he looking up to Nip. So it was like, hey, I'm kicking it with all my brothers. The middle one's the coolest one. Usually they're the most laid back. That was kind of like you, and you made the beat, and it all came together. But the real always comes up, and it's like the craziest thing. But you talk about the story when he talks about, what was his name, Fats?
Fats.
Yeah. He talked about when he was crying. I know obviously it was an emotional time, but I'm like an awkward person. When people start crying, I just what's it called? Not that I want to laugh, but
no, you laugh.
Sometimes you don't know what to say to them. It's like, I mean, hey, bro,
I cry all the time, and he tells me to shut up, or he starts laughing.
For you, because I know obviously, I mean, you're sitting there, you're like, oh, like.
Well, I mean, how my studio is, it's like I got like the island up, you know, up like a stair, and then he was like sitting down there, so I'm just like watching him. He wrapped his hoodie up, you know what I mean? And he was just at the mic. He was close as hell to the mic, so I wasn't all up in his space like that. It was kind of like a little distance, but I'm just peeping like, damn, and I just let him have that moment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy too how that song, like his verse, transformed from like mourning Fats to all of us mourning Nip while he's singing that. Like the song
the propheticness of Nipsey is like that. It's gonna trip you out on so many records.
After Nip passed, that song sounded so different. Yeah, I feel like I just listened to it with different ears.
It's funny that because it always just sounded like just heavy to me. It just sounded like real life, you know what I mean? So when that shit happened, I'm just like, I can't believe, first of all, that his last song was produced by me. You know what I'm saying? Like this is somebody like I've been making music with, been showing love to. He showed love to me. When my pops came home from prison like 2013, Nip pulled up, showed love, you know what I mean? Posted because my pops would make music too, so Nip was posting his music and everything. Like, so we just was solid. When my bro came home from prison, that nigga Nip bought a gang of bottles, brought him to the stoop, and then just left. Didn't even drink none of it. He just brought it for all of us. You know what I mean? He was that type of dude. So I just know that we had a deeper, you know what I mean, connection than the surface.
Nah, man, and that's what happens when you create with intention. Because I think like that's how we're tripping out on those bars. Or it's like, but he was really intentional. He wrote as if every song was gonna be his last. Like it's like if I go today, what am I saying really?
It's kind of what Victory Lap sounds like. They all sound like outros and intros at the same time.
But I also know with Nip, the beat has to be right here. Like it has to be right. It has to allow him that space. However you guys curated and collaborated with that, just kudos to you. And I don't want to stay too much on it, but like I love my brother Nip, and I know we're coming up on the anniversary. I haven't been able to talk to you about it, but man, like just as much as we give that man his flowers, well deserved, you're right there with him, you know? Wow. And I'm sure the intention on creation is in you too. You see those things and they kind of confirm, we gotta make this shit intentional.
It's crazy because I don't even be on this type of like, you know, even like superstitious shit, but I feel like Nip had something to do with me and Nas linking because he had just met with Nas, he was working with me heavy, and you know, it's just crazy, bro.
Have you asked Nas like, hey, did Nip ever bring me up or something like that?
They had just met.
They had just met.
So we talked met for the first time themselves.
We talked about that, and it's just like Nip was trying to get me to do, you know, a lot of his next album that Racks in the Middle would have been on. So he was texting me, calling me 7 in the morning, 8 a.m., sending me samples. I'm sending him samples.
For the East Coast is up 3 hours ahead.
So money got to move. We was really sending ideas back and forth the same way now in retrospect that me and Nas do. You know what I mean?
Man, that synergy is important, and you have that, but also like you as a rapper too, you coming. I think there has to be some part of you that compartmentalizes your producer with your rapper, right? But there's a time where you can collab with yourself, right? You creating and being like, all right, I gotta pen this. Like, how do you tap in with that part of yourself too?
That's always the most organic part of my process because I know instantly pretty much when I make a beat what's gonna be for me, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I make shit, I try an idea to it and be like, nah, somebody come through, I'm gonna give it to them, but there's certain ones I just connect with that I'm like, nah, I gotta get on this, you know what I mean? It's just like an easy process for me.
That's fire. Are you the greatest rapper to ever do it out of the IE?
The greatest rapper. There's been some good rappers from out there, but I don't know. I feel like just my impact. I wouldn't say producer or rapper or nothing, but just on some artistry. I feel like I've pushed. I've pushed. You know
I think you definitely. But that's a lot on your back, especially with the IE moving so big right now. Like the movement is crazy. I'm like,
shout R3 the Chili Man and Spank Nitty James from Hemet. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of dudes doing it.
There's a lot of artists.
The homie Price. You know what I mean?
Shout out Price.
You know, Surf or Drown. I love the we're talking about intention again. Yeah. They ain't got no beaches in the IE, but you know, this is about riding either I'm gonna ride this wave or I'm gonna get struck down by the current and it's gonna be bad, right?
And literally, I've lived it. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for somebody to like get a lot of money, lose it, and then not go crazy. Like, you know what I mean? I've had waves, I've had different deals, I've, you know, blown this shit, like trying to figure it out. And now I'm just at this point where I'm centered and I'm just like, I know exactly how I need to be moving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like the intention of like bringing back the surf club stuff. Like I've seen that, like you pushing that again. And like that's exciting for like somebody who's been following you for a long time. It's like, I remember those days, chasing cash. So like
shout out
the
to
early days.
Chill, BC, Kent, everybody.
And it's like it's continuing that legacy, I feel like, with the album title.
And even like y'all thought our shit was done. No, we still here. Like it's like a resurgence of literally what you brought to the table. Now with more stuff that you learned. Like it's like now let's do this again with me knowing shit. Like you talked about like getting it and blowing it. Now I know what to do, what not to do, my limits, my boundaries, and all of that, and where I can really go hard in.
No,
I love that. Exactly. I love that for this project. And again, like, you know, like we saw you turning up. We heard the leak of that record, right? About like I'm better than anybody out here. Like the range that is Hitboy.
I ain't necessarily say that. You know what I mean?
He was talking shit, fool.
No.
Look, that's what I'm saying. Like
he was asking a lot of valid
There's
questions.
a reason you flip controllers, dog.
I was just saying what I haven't heard from the producers that I respect. I respect 3 of those producers I name out of 4. You know what I mean? One of them I don't have no respect for. But the 3, Southside, Metro, and Mustard, I got respect for them. I'm just saying what I haven't heard. But then if you look me up, you could hear all them sounds. And that was just it. So, you know, it's just having fun with the music.
Nah, you was talking shit.
I was talking shit about Young Bird for sure.
If you didn't have that behind you, you got it.
Yeah, and they're like huge hip hop heads. I like the messy shit and the funny shit. So I'm like, damn, hip hop got a lot of face. No, but we love the competitors where like did any of them call you like, damn, fool, that's how you feel?
Nah, Hitmaker just left about 100 comments and everybody who posted something about me.
Damn.
That's it.
Okay, so bring us through the timeline, right? So you're watching, like, I don't know, you're probably on your timeline or something, and then Hitmaker.
Something had to have triggered that.
Hitmaker goes on.
Well, yeah,
Evo,
but he does that. He's been doing that for years.
But it was like a day or two later,
He didn't
right?
stop
So
doing
just
that.
take us
He kept getting bodied.
I had heard that he would say little stuff like certain people that we know mutually.
We did a versus, blah, blah, blah.
And then when he went on Hot 97, I'm sitting with my son. Like, I mean, come on, man. I'm not finna go for that one. You know what I mean? So it's like, cool, I'm about to drop music anyway. I'm about to just throw him a little jab. And it's like, man, he getting it. Like, nigga, look at YouTube, look at my comments. They frying this dude. Like, so it is what it is.
They was frying him bad. I was like, oh my God, he need to stop talking. Stop doing interviews for a little bit, dog. Some people are meant to talk, some people are meant to produce, dog. And you're not meant to talk. I'm like, dang, he keeps getting bodied, fool.
Yeah, it's cool. And the thing about Hitboy is, like, I'm sure, like, even just talking about, like, the meme pages of the IE, I'm sure you've heard jokes all the time. You have to already know what's up. Like, you have to have the burns back. You have to be able to stand your ground. So to you, this is nothing.
Nah.
To you, like, all right,
and I've been doing this
bro.
for so long and just messing with social media. I didn't heard everything about myself. You could say whatever. So that now I look at it like, whether it's the good stuff or the bad stuff, I don't let none of it go to my head. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's that person's perspective. I'll salute and appreciate the love and then just ignore the hate. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Can you give us your 5 top rappers in LA right now?
The right nows.
The right nows. You can't name YG.
LA or LA and the IE combined.
Okay, California.
But
that's probably even harder. I try to do that
because he's from both. So
I mean, man, I gotta say, 03, Price, R3 the Chili Man, Spank Nitty James, shit, and me.
That's a solid top 5.
That is a solid top 5.
Yeah.
Very IE based bias, but I'm well for it. We're LA based bias.
Yes.
Yeah.
The last convo I had with Nip, I was talking to him about his range, right? About, like, let's say, like, even in ball, it's not just about being good at one position or at, like, being a great three-point shooter, right? There's some people that are just only great at either on the court, different roles, right? But it's about being an all-around player, being able to check different things off the list, right? And that seems to be something that you do very well. That's what I heard when I heard, like, I never heard you do no ratchet shit, never heard you do no backpack shit. It's like, here I am checking off, like, the different things, and it has to be something that you saw, like, oh man, I do that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure.
Take me through that. Like, is it like, man, I haven't done this, let me go experiment with that? Or is it like sitting back and being like, damn, I have that range?
Yeah, I mean that's always been something from day one. I wanted to be versatile. I just wanted to. I admire producers that could hop in any bag, whether it was some R&B, ballad record for Beyonce, or like how Scott Storch, he did Lean Back, turned up joint, then he'd go do like Me, Myself, and I for Beyonce. So I always loved that and just respected it and wanted to be able to make music for whoever called me. You know what I mean? I didn't. Got randomly like locked in with like a Selena Gomez, you know what I mean? Had to be prepared for that. Ariana Grande, I did that stuff for Rihanna, everybody. So it's like I keep my love for the music first. That way I could just be a fan and then I could be like, let me give them some shit that I really want to listen to. You know what I mean?
Do you like the fact that nobody can say like, oh, that sounds like a Hitboy beat? Because I don't feel like there's like a
now
sound
I do.
You can like
now I do.
Like
before I looked at it like, it's kind of hard for people to lock in with my brand and know that I've done all these records, you know what I mean? But now it's like, it's giving me longevity. I'm able to just go work with whoever, do this shit for however long, because people ain't burnt out on my sound. Like, oh, he only do ratchet shit, he only do trap, he only do club. Like, it's like, okay, nah, if I need some whatever, I can come to hit, you know what I mean?
When you're making like, let's just say like a sad type beat, do you think about all the time your heart's been broken by girls? Like, damn, bitch, I hate you.
Not necessarily, but sometimes like I'll play certain shit and I'll be like, as I'm playing it, it'll start getting me a little emotional. Like, hold up, man, let me play some gangster shit real quick, man. Like it's funny because like I got like a pretty sophisticated sound, but I ride around playing like Peasy and Rio the Young OG and that type of shit.
Yeah, you like disrespectful music, me too. Let me say some wild shit. But yeah, because
it's really like watching a comedian, like listening to them. You know what I mean?
That's when I listen to fucking Real the Young OG, I'm like, damn, bro, you're a piece of shit. But in a funny way, like, you feel me? But that's because we're talking to LMA. We had a conversation and I'm like, when you make all this sad music, like, do you just think about, like, do you get in a relationship and get heartbroken on purpose? And that's what I think about with producers. I have a good homie named Cybers Moreno, and he's like, I'm like, fool, when you're depressed, you come in here and just make sad beats?
He a producer, right? Yeah, I know who he is.
And then same question. I'm like, do you guys get like depressed on purpose and just like let me make a bunch of songs
depressed on purpose?
Nah,
I don't know. Hitboy might just get in a relationship, break up, and go make 30 beats for Bryson Tiller. Who knows?
I mean, sometimes you know what I mean. Sometimes you get that extra inspiration from life. You know what I mean? Just whatever it may be, being happy, being sad. Like I try to channel the emotions into the beat. Period. You know? What I mean?
How nervous were you when you first started working with Nas?
I mean, it was more so like I just wanted to really learn, you know what I mean? And just like learn, get his wisdom and also apply what I've, been doing and just like make that shit work. But I had to just say, fuck it, bro, and just go. Like, whether I got to coach him through something, I'm really like, I'm engineering him too. Like, you know what I mean? I'm sitting down at the board to press and record for him. So if I hear something that I'm like, oh, you could re-record that, most people would be scared to say it. I just had to be like, forget it, bro. I'm going to just say it. Like, I feel like you could say this one word just a little bit clearer, and he'd be down for it. So that's why it worked.
Yeah, because I can only imagine, right? Like telling the, like...
Yeah, that's like, you telling Dave Chappelle, like, you could have said it like
if I would have told, like, I don't know, maybe the punchline's a little forward. That would be great, but that's what makes you great, dog.
Yeah,
like you don't give a fuck. Not that you don't give a fuck, but like
you got to. You gotta kind of just be like, however this shit go, I'ma say it.
Yeah, facts.
You have to be open to that part of yourself because it's all coming for a reason too. Yeah. Hitboy, we're talking about like the different pockets that you want to be in, the different bags that you want to touch. Have you looked at just like I want your take on like the Latin trap scene. The new reggaeton albums are getting very like a Bad Bunny album. Yeah. Like they're worldwide at this point, right? It's not even a niche genre. When you look at it as a producer, I look at it as I'm a girl, it makes me dance.
Right.
How do you listen to that stuff?
First off, I'm looking at the numbers. Like, Bad Bunny is killing shit, you know what I mean? Like the homie Double introduced me to what's homie name? Eladio?
He's killing it right now.
Wow, he's killing it right now.
I tapped in with all of them, so you know what I mean. They got respect for what I do. I respect what they do, and they joints is just running. You know what I mean? Like
but once you get like a good little Karol G vibe, that's what you need to tap in. They're fire, but you gotta go for you gotta hit for the stars, Pops, Becky G, Karol G.
He gets the stars already.
I know, but what I'm saying is two different worlds. imagine having like a Nas and a Daddy Yankee. It's over with.
You're retired. Hey, if y'all have one of them pull up, just tell them hit one.
Yeah, for sure.
But like sonically, because like I'm in radio, I can't listen to radio the same. I listen to commercials different. I listen to I look at the time different. When you're a producer, do you listen to music different? Are you listening for layers? Are you listening for different like sonics?
No, for sure. I'm listening for every nuance, like just like the customness that they put into their music, like what's making that artist, you know what I mean? Like whether it's, you know, the keyboard sound or the drum pattern or what they doing with the lingo they use, and it's just like I'm trying to tap into what this artist is really doing, and that's what make me appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Nah, yeah, you're definitely killing it, and us just being Latino man, I'll be excited.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna come, but like the day you work with a Latino artist coming up, especially like the Santa Fe clans, they're like bars.
He wants the boom back of Mexican rap. Like he wants
and they going crazy touring the world. I'm like, damn, you in Argentina selling out stadiums?
Yeah, that's when you know, like, damn, we really in a bubble, because they're like you said. I look at the numbers, it's like, damn, that's possible. There's that many humans that can give up this much bread.
That many beaners just running around.
So annoying. That's not where I wanted to go with this. I was so excited as a producer.
Nah, I love it though. Yeah, you know.
I want to talk about the album, like, so. I know you had mentioned prior that you were going to do like a DJ Khaled type album. Yeah. Is that album did that turn into this, or is that separate?
That's a separate.
This
thing.
Is a whole different.
That would be just solely my beats. Like I'm rapping on every song. I got Dom on there, J305. Yeah. Got a gang of the homies on there. So it's just like having fun making music, and also just like showing my growth, showing my elevation. Like I seen a lot of people, like the song I dropped with Nas today, they like damn, he been locked in with Nas, so it's like I gotta check this album out, because you know what I mean, like he's a part of some shit that's good that's going on right now.
Hey, Hitboy, I just remembered, we got drunk together.
I had to also
we drank tequila together, and then and then I had these fools try it. We
is that your sponsor? Tell them tap in. I need some bottles.
No, listen, because we were celebrating something on our podcast.
We weren't celebrating shit. We were just
I think we were celebrating some.
Birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I brought it, and it's a bomb bottle, right? It's like 3 tequilas mixed in one. Say that to say, because it's like, hey, they mix tequila the way that Hitboy mixes records. It was like super cute. But they got so drunk off of it, like off of one shot.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, that shit hit different.
You a tequila man?
Smooth. Yeah. Loud soda. That's
well, bring on. I'm kidding.
No, I know. We got to get some bottles delivered.
You went to Mexico though. You went.
Jalisco. We was up in the hills. That's fire. And like really out there with the humidors, like cutting down the
tequila
guava joints, the guava plants, and all that. That's fire. I was filming my part, and then I met the guy who owns the farms with the guava, crazy. Like, and that's the agave, agave, and that was just ill, man.
That's dope. It was like the 818 tequila commercial. Kendall Jenner walking around the. It was
he did it better.
Yeah.
No, but when you're there, do they try talking to you in Spanish? Because I feel like you low key, you look. Hispanic, dog.
That's funny. Yeah. Maybe that's why Spanish girls have always rocked with me.
That part,
I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's just like
Hitboy Bobby.
Nah. I mean, I had people out there, you know, with me that was translating, like making it right. But that was an ill like process. But it's like one of my homies, he quit drinking after that trip to Jalisco because they had so much tequila.
All
Jalisco's based up. Like that's where my family's from.
As soon as you wake up, bro, it's like unlimited access to
it's like water
tequila
out there.
So
and straight from the source. Yeah, like this is not getting filtered through anything. Like they break open the plant. Here, it's like the coconut.
Literally.
Yeah, you're not paying $1,000 for a bottle. You cut it with a knife over there.
It don't even have labels out there. It's just like this is just tequila.
That's a vibe, no. I appreciate you coming in, bro. I'm excited for anything that we can champion. Our guy Hitboy, like I said, you win. We don't get the money, but it feels like we winning. Yeah, like we at the parade with it.
That's it. Like, man, seeing just like what y'all doing and watching, seeing your clips on the Rosecransvic page, like, and then boom, next thing you know, it's like Power 106. That's nuts. And then you already know you legendary out here.
I'm fucking all this shit.
It's dope. I think even now, like, I think the industry music always looks at LA like, you guys are just wild, and like, or just the West Coast. And I feel like right now, like, I feel like whoever's winning is winning. Like us doing this shit and then being able to tap in with you and just all of Los Angeles. But any artist that comes by, and then even with like the shit I got going on with AD and T-Rail, I was moving on and doing our own thing. I was doing our own thing with Pod and shutting out the Novo with podcasting. People just sit there and hear us talk about a bunch of dumb shit and talk shit.
Actually,
I'm like, we're having fun. Like,
right.
It's a big ass vibe.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a Hitboy show.
Nah, for sure.
We need to see a Hitboy show. Like, that'll be fire.
Nah, there's too many podcasts already.
No, I'm saying like a live event.
Like
yes.
That would be fire.
I'm talking for a fucking Hitboy podcast too, the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, but I was thinking like a live event.
I ain't gonna lie, the homie got a mellow voice, I might go to sleep.
Nah, it's not easy. Nah, but he's in his turn-up bag. I feel like if you put a mic in... Have you heard the Ben Baller podcast? Ben Baller is just... I'm Ben Baller. They don't call me Ben Humble. Blah, blah, blah. That'd be some Hitboy shit.
He going crazy.
I'm Hitboy, and y'all ain't got none. What's up? Let's talk about it.
We're going to figure it out for sure. Shit, definitely going to put a show together.
Yeah, that'll be fire.
Go crazy.
But we also do got to come on the pod and just come kick it with the primos.
Nah,
you feel
sure.
me? We get there right there and talk shit. You go crazy.
I just seen Trail posted like niggas was #1, so I like commented. I seen people like add me like, yo, you got to go on the show.
Back on Fig, they're killing.
Let's set that up.
Yeah, man. Shout out everybody. All the homies. All the circles winning.
No, we're in a really good time, like, and it's cool that we're in the moment, we're realizing it, because later, this is the stuff that people are going to talk about, like, remember when that was happening, like, all of the stuff that's cultivating, like, the renaissance of sorts, so, shout out to you for being a part of that.
Yes,
we're just fans at the end of the day, Hitboy.
Solid, man.
Shout out to you, and shout out to you for putting Fontana on the map, because low-key my ex is from Fontana, and I hate Mango Street, but I love you, dog. I fucking love you, dog.
I'm from Cherry Street, Cherry and Arrow.
Let's go, Cherry Street!
Let's go!
That's funny.
I like cherries more than mangoes.
Over mangoes.
Nah, mango's fire.
I really love mangoes, dog. Just off the street. And I like the book too, because there's a House on Mango Street book. That's neither here nor there. Look at me. Power 106. Hitboy, thank you, bro.
Thanks, Hitboy.